We're back with Doc Swiner. It is another Self Care Friday. Doc Swiner, I'm sorry, I forgot to use your new moniker that I gave you. Everyone's favorite doctor, Doc Swiner. We're just going to claim it. We're going to claim it. We're just going to put it into the universe and we're going to make it be.
All right.
Sure. We get together every Friday to talk to Doc Swiner about different forms of self care. First, we always like to start out by defining self care. What is self care? Is it more than just a mani and a pedi?
Yeah. So anything that fits under the umbrella of de-stressing you, relaxing you, helping you to cope with stress, cope with all the craziness that we deal with life, from as simple as a mani pedi to as complicated to leaving your job and creating something new. Whatever makes you feel good, long lasting, decreasing stress.
Okay, so this week, what kind of self care do you want to focus on?
Let's talk about water. The water that none of us are drinking enough of on a daily basis, including myself.
We're not. We're not. It feels like it's so hard to get it all in. It felt a lot easier during quarantine,
Right.
but now it's like you're out and about and you're running errands and you're not really thinking about, "Oh, I need to refill this water glass."
Exactly. Yeah. I just looked it up and it patients ask me this all the time. They're like, how much water do I need to make sure I'm drinking every day to be healthy, to, cleanse myself of toxins? My rule of thumb generally was, 4 to 6 glasses, which is probably about 48 ounces or so of water. But if you look it up, the literature says like 92 ounces a day.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like that's a lot. I feel like it's a lot. And of course, it matters as to, how well your kidneys are functioning and do you have heart failure? In some cases, you don't want or you should not drink that much water. But in general, about 8 glasses a day, I think is probably, reasonable for the majority of us.
Okay, so what about the hydration part is important from a medical standpoint?
Yeah. So, clearly we would have people coming in complaining of exhaustion, fatigue, chronic headaches, cramps, Charlie horses, all these things that
Mhm.
you think of that would cause your muscles to bunch up and dehydrate and dry up, your kidneys to dry up, have to do with not getting enough hydration, or you're hydrating, but you're excreting it all the time. So your
Mhm.
blood sugars are too high, so you're peeing it out or you're sweating it out. All of these things can cause dehydration. And so focusing on that makes a difference. It helps you to sleep better. It helps your bowels to function better. It releases all these stressful hormones that we carry around in our bodies, or this lactic acid that we build up over time. So we really should pay more attention to it.
Okay, so how do we get all of these fluids in?
Yeah.
How do we do all of that?
We're always looking for kind of a more efficient and easy way to do it, because you also don't want to be up all night peeing, right? And urinating.
Right. Right.
So if you're committed and you have a goal and you're all about it and you're wake up at 6 a.m. and your first thing is going to be to drink water, you certainly can get those big jugs that have the lines on it that tell you what you're supposed to drink.
Mhm.
But I certainly have been into the hydration and intravenous way of doing it. The IV infusion clinics that have been popping up. When I left practice, I started doing things through Serenity Hydration and Wellness. And so it's an efficient way, if you're into that, doing an IV and getting, half a liter to a liter of fluid pumped into you, along with some electrolytes and vitamins if you're, deficient in those too. And it's more efficient, meaning you don't necessarily have to drink it all. It can literally be absorbed through your bloodstream and go to the organs where they need it.
So if we're doing something like that, if we're doing hydration by IV, how often would you need to do that?
Yeah. So, if you look into it, there are different recipes, different ingredients. It depends on what you want. But if you're doing kind of the basic, I just need a little boost because I feel dry or I've been working out a lot or I'm recovering from illness, probably every 2 to 4 weeks is reasonable. I wouldn't poke your veins too much, uh,
Mhm.
more than that, but every 2 to 4 weeks is probably reasonable.
Wow, I didn't even know that was an option.
Yes.
I thought we just had to just carry around the gallon jug and then pray that the traffic on the Beltline doesn't take us too long to get
Right?
home. I
To
thought
the
that
rest.
was it.
Yeah. You can do a mixture of both. Or if you know that you're going to be out partying or you're going to a music festival or you're going to be doing something that probably later you will be dehydrated afterwards, you can get a pre-boost, and hopefully that'll get ahead of the game for you.
That makes sense. I love the concept of doing that, and I guess I can imagine, I was just reading today that now that we're all back outside and touching each other, that neuroviruses are on the rise. So
Ugh.
once you go through something like that, like a stomach bug, I would imagine that doing some sort of hydration thing would be really, really helpful, right?
Absolutely. So a lot of these places are popping up. They're very popular out west in some of the bigger metropolitan areas. It's definitely now making its way to our area in the East Coast. So yeah, so it will potentially save you a trip to an urgent care or to an emergency room if you know of some of these places that can come to you and hook you up so that you can stay out of the sick areas. It definitely should make a difference to prevent you from becoming severely dehydrated.
I see what you did there, hook you up, literally.
I didn't even mean to do that. Look at that.
Look at you. How do our listeners get in touch with you, Doc Swiner?
Yes, I'm at Doc Swiner, almost all social media except Instagram, where I'm at Real Doc Swiner. If you're interested in learning more about hydration from my perspective and get hooked up with us, we have our Instagram page at Serenity Hydration Wellness as well, and stay hydrated as much as you can.
Okay. Thank you, Doc Swiner. We do this every Friday, Self Care Friday. We focus on a different type of self care. You learned me something new today, Doc Swiner. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. See you later.